Yeah, expecting a slow and low wicket. I think expect conditions that will be tough for us. So, which is exactly what we want. That's the kind of challenge we want as a team. To test ourselves in tough conditions, which will be great preparation for us moving forward.
Just with the World Cup in India, a few months away, does this tour also play sort of a preparation for the World Cup in terms of weather and maybe some conditions?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all our preparation is geared towards that World Cup. This is the conditions that will probably be the closest that we can get to playing in India, as well. So we only have these matches, and then don't play again until September, just before the World Cup. So it's a great challenge for us, and we're excited for the series.
You were there with England beat Bangladesh back in 2016 here. Bangladesh haven't lost their ODI series after that series. So how much bearing that series will be now, or will there be bearings?
It's a long time ago. And as you say, Bangladesh always had a good record at home. So we have some very good players in our team. We're excited for the challenge. We've had a lot of guys over the last few years who are exposed to playing in subcontinent conditions. A number of guys have been here and played in the Bangladesh Premier League, and we'll have a bit of an idea as to what to expect. But that doesn't make it any easier. It's going to be a good challenge, and we look forward to it.
Hi, Josh. Well, at one point, teams outside from the subcontinent used to struggle here. But nowadays, many players are playing in the BPL, BSL or IPL. Do you think that eradicated the element of surprise when teams like England, Australia or New Zealand comes to play in subcontinents?
I think it's not an element of surprise. It's just being more accustomed to the conditions, spending more time in the subcontinent, being exposed to the conditions more often. Before the advent of franchise cricket, you'd only come here as an international team, and so yeah, absolutely. With more franchise cricket around the world, guys are more exposed to the conditions.
We'll go around here now.
Josh, you are playing very devastating and aggressive cricket nowadays. In Asia condition, it's very tough to play like that. So you are going to play the natural game like aggressive or according to the condition.
I will always try and be as aggressive as we can. I think the misconception is that we're aiming for 400 every time, but it's more about trying to push the boundaries of what's capable on the day, not settling for par, trying to push that envelope higher. If the maximum on the wicket allows us as 100, can we try and score 100 instead of 80? So we just try and assess the conditions and imprint our game as much as we can. But of course, you have to understand conditions, adapt. But we're always going to fall on the positive side as opposed to the more negative side.
Yeah.
Hello, Josh. There was quite a bit of rivalry when England proved Bangladesh last time in 2016. Do you see that rivalry continuing? Because there was quite some heated moments back then.
I don't know. Yeah, I think there's always good competition when the two teams play, and expect a competitive series.
Thank you.
Just in the front here now.
Hi Josh, my question is not related to this particular series. Often there are lots of talks about home advantage. The subcontinent team says that when they came to the England or other countries in Europe, they play in pace help in pitch. Now when other team comes in subcontinent, there are talks about spin track and what's your thought about the home conditions, home advantage? I want to know about that. What is your thought about home advantage?
Yeah, I think as I've said in all the questions, it's the same. Bangladesh are very good in their own conditions, and there's definitely an advantage to playing at home.
দেশ জুড়ে শুরু হয়েছে নগদ রকমারি অনলাইন বইমেলা। রকমারির ডিসকাউন্টের উপরে শুধুমাত্র নগদ দিয়ে পেমেন্ট করলেই পাবেন আরো 21% ক্যাশব্যাক।
My question is using home advantage. About using home advantage. utilizing home advantage?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll, for the last few years they've utilised their home advantage. Yeah, fair enough.
We'll go up the back here now and then.
Josh, England are obviously the world champion of two white ball format, and England are probably the most aggressive team right now in the world. Do you think England would adopt this aggressive approach if they wouldn't lose their match against Bangladesh in 2015 World Cup?
Yeah, I think so. I think even if we'd won that game in 2015, I think we would have fallen down not far after. I think looking back, we were quite a way behind the rest of the teams in the world at that stage, and it was very obvious post that World Cup that we had to change the way we played and try and be at the forefront of where the game was going as opposed to trying to catch up. So I think we would have got to that point regardless, but obviously losing that match was being knocked out of the World Cup at that stage was probably the absolutely is now looked back at as that real turning point for English cricket, but I'm sure we would have been found out not long after had we managed to get through that game.
Okay, we're going to do our last couple. Start here.
Just saw Jofra bowling leg spin to the batsman. You have two leggies, Adil and Rehan. Do you feel Rehan can be a trump card for you guys in the ODI series and T20 series?
Yeah, Rehan's a really exciting talent. He's obviously made his Test debut and against Pakistan recently. He's still a very young man. He's just a teenager still. So we're excited about his development and where we think he can go. And it's great to have him in and around the England setup. And someone like Adil Rashid has been such a star performer for us for a long period of time. Rehan getting to spend time with him and then discussing bowling and watching each other bowl, I think will be a huge benefit to him and a big stage in his development. And really excited for someone with so much talent, not just with the ball, with the bat as well. So we look forward to watching him develop and hopefully turning himself into a brilliant international cricketer.
Here and then we'll finish up at the back.
Josh, everyone talks about slow and low wicket and before. But you, the guys in camp, Jofra, Marcus, Sam Curran, Chris, the big guys in camp, do you take the reference between spin and pace in your wicket?
Say the question again.
Do you see any difference in spin and pace wicket in between?
A difference between spin and pace. There's obviously the difference of generally the wicket will be slower, but guys like Jofra and Mark Wood, they obviously have fantastic airspeed. So sometimes there's someone who can bowl with such pace on these wickets is still a handful. It's not actually always as the benefit of the batsman. So we have a nice variety in the attack. We have a nice variety in the squad, both right arm, left arm, high pace, guys who can swing it. So we have a nice balanced attack.
Last one.
Josh, in the last year there was an interview you told that when you came here for playing BPL, Marlon and Bravo discussing about the theory of chasing in T20 cricket. Can you tell this story again?
Yeah, I think it was Darren Bravo was talking about when you're chasing a total in T20s, they look at actually how many sixes they feel like they have to score in the chase to win the game. And I was saying that I'd never at that point thought about the game in that way. I was sort of always looking at runs per over required or things like that. Whereas remember Darren running a message on saying if you hit 5 sixes in the last 6 or 7 overs, we'll win the match. And just a different mindset, a different way of looking at the game, and something I hadn't thought of before at that time.
Did that change you?
I think so. At different times, it's just great to have different options of looking at the game different ways. I think guys who are, especially if you have that ability to clear the ropes and hit sixes, it's a nice way to take pressure off yourself.